There's a photo of J.W. Miller with his father on the front straightaway at the Brickyard. Now he's actually going to go to victory lane at the Brickyard. J.W. Miller wins.
Two races remain in the Black Horizon Truck Series, in the Great Lakes Sim Racing Series, as we hit round number 9 tonight. Nashville, Tennessee, the Fairgrounds, here on iRacing. Virtually, we get ready to rock and roll this evening, as you see downtown in the background. It's a track that we have raced for years, at least the drivers of the old school days. It's a track that's been on iRacing for about a year now. One that we've gotten a chance to sit back and enjoy. And tonight it is the round number 9 of the Black Horizon Truck Series season. It is the host of the Sabulski Window Tinting 200 here at the Fairgrounds. 65 degrees ambient, 41% humidity under partly cloudy skies. Under the lights here on this 0.6 of a mile oval. Again, just outside downtown Nashville as we get ready to rock and roll this evening. I am the captain, Chris Scala. Hopefully you've enjoyed your Wednesday so far as we get ready to rock and roll ourselves. Gonna have some fun here tonight. Some great racing. We had a fantastic short track event last week at Myrtle Beach, and let's hope we can back it up tonight here in Nashville. Though I'm hearing a mix of things, so I think we're in line for some interesting racing here around this track. So where are we located here in the Nashville Fairgrounds area? Well, I will tell you here in 2 seconds as I type in the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. I thought I had it typed in, but I was not prepared. I thought I was. It's one of those things where you kind of sit back and get comfortable for a second and realize, oh wait, I was not totally ready. But we are literally to the south and east of the Speedway. Or of the city, I should say, of the Fairgrounds. I've driven past it over, I've actually been over to it at one point. Just kind of went for a little trip around the Nashville area when I was driving through one day. And came across it. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, right there in the middle of town. There's a soccer stadium now outside this track. As a matter of fact, there it is right there, being built for the soccer program that's there in Nashville. And you just see the downtown area of this track being, of course, worked on now, potentially for hosting NASCAR dates. Who knows, maybe as soon as the 2024 season. So we'll have to see what all takes place this evening. Qualifying is all done. We'll get ready to grid here in just a second. But first, let's take a look at the point standings. As we enter tonight, Ricky Springer with a 23-point lead over Sam Fontaine. For those who do not know, Fontaine led the first 9 laps of the race last week. Actually was black flagged for the start. I was unaware of that and did not know until after the race. And Fontaine was actually disqualified in the end. That's why he was not able to finish and lost a points lead. Alex Cummings now 3rd. Luke Knupp, Luke Daniels in the battle of the Lukes there in 4th, 5th, and 7th. Jason Dalton in the Luke Sandwich there towards the top 10, though. That's where you see Brandon Alphin right now with a 3-point lead over Ben Pierce. Dane Cruz is right there. Matt Telder's right there. Peachin, Miles, Cook, all those drivers right there and a chance to pounce, and you only have 2 more races to do so before we set the playoffs here in the Black Horizon Truck Series season. Qualifying is done, and just like last week, Fontaine on the pole as we take a look at the starting lineup for the race. He'll start next to Brian Sutphin, his teammate there, another short track ace. And make sure you do get your lineups in, by the way, at GreatLakesSimRacing.com. If you haven't already, you might have a second to do so before they get the green flag. Ben Pierce, Jeremy Ferrer. Pierce continues his momentum as he'll start in the 3rd position. Ricky Springer, Jason Dalton. That's 3 of the teammates there in the top 6. KGD 2. That's what I was trying to think of. as they'll start first, second, and sixth. Lucas Strayer, Stephen Miles in row 4. Row 5, Telder and Brandon Alphin. Alex Cummings, last week's winner in Myrtle Beach. He'll start next to the Dean Machine there in the 12th position. Luke Daniels, Sean Peachin. They'll take row number 7. Row 8, J.W. Miller and Caden Atkins. Drayton Cook and Blaine Sparling there, row number 9. Row 10, Dane Cruz alongside Tyler Brewer in this race. Row number 11, Tim Abril will start alongside Luke Canup. Drift and Alex Bryson there, row number 12. Row 13 is where you'll see Cam Ingram and Robert Lukens, and Dalton Wilson will make up the 27 starters here in the event tonight. That'll go 200 laps just like last week in a little over 100 miles. Matter of fact, 0.6 of a mile. That would be like 110 laps, or 10 miles, I think, or something like that. So, all right. As you see, it's a high bank track. The middle lane is going to be your way to go around here. Very bumpy, very tricky as we come to the green flag, Nashville, Tennessee. Got waved off. Kevin Davis did not like the way that looked. We'll talk to him here in just a second as he is getting piped up and getting ready for the start here of this race. That was one of those just kidding moments right there. We'll talk about the bumps right there in turn 2 and how the transition right there can be tricky. Calamity Corner at turn number 2. And into turn 3 and 4. Pace car pulls into a very tricky pit road, by the way, also. As Fontaine going to lead him to the green flag in Nashville. It is race number 9. 2 races to go in the regular season. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. They're online, they're on Facebook, and of course, they are in the iRacing forums at wow, I just got distracted by some side-by-side racing at TrackCams22.com as Fontaine leads lap 1. As long as nobody got a penalty here, it'll give me a chance to bring up Kevin here, and we'll have a quick word. He's got Gagnon there in the booth with him tonight again, but let's get Kevin up here real quick. Kevin, Nashville, a track you've had a little experience with, being a short track guy you are. What are we expecting tonight? What are we hearing from the drivers?
I've had my fair share of they don't have too many clean laps around the track, but
not many of us do.
I think those that have practiced definitely talking back and forth with them. There's a chance to possibly self-spinning as long as they just take it easy and be gentle coming off the 2 and down the backstretch. They should be fine. That's honestly most of what everybody's concern is going into this race. Not too many guys think it'll be a bad ordeal, possibly even a little cleaner than Myrtle Beach. Basically everything, just keeping it where they can keep their own truck under control, and they feel confident in getting through this race and getting closer to the playoffs.
Obviously, Fontaine had a good start, apparently.
Yes. Him and Sutphin did a great job of pacing and taking off at the green flag, so they were commended.
Awesome. Great job. I'll let you go hang out with Gagnon there. And where'd he run? He ran away. Where'd he go?
Yeah, he said he was going to be jumping in and out, popping down here through there.
Come on, Gagnon. That's not what an admin does. Anyways, all right. Good job, man. We'll talk a little bit.
All right, man. Thank you.
See you, buddy. Kevin Davis there, the head admin of the league tonight. As you see, Fontaine has pulled away to about 0.3 of a second. You've got Sutphin there in second, Ben Pierce third, Frere in fourth, Ricky Springer top 5. And one of the things that these drivers have talked about in this race, or at least during practice, is how tough it is to pass in these trucks here at this track. And again, the setup tonight done by Edwards Setup Shop. So appreciate their hard work in putting this all together. And obviously you got another setup tonight that's kind of driving off the right rear. So that's where you're seeing a lot of single file here. You got to get a car out of shape, and up there where about Caden Atkins is the ideal lane. And that's where you see the 46 now. Dane Cruz worked the inside of Abril in a battle for the 16th position here. A couple cars, trucks blinking out. as you can see the side-by-side racing at this track does produce. Already 10 laps in the books. Lap times around 19 to 20 seconds. Tires will fall off a ton, just like you saw last week in Myrtle Beach. Nashville's the same exact way. So Fontaine's starting to pull away a little bit, 0.7 of a second over Sutphin. You got Springer, you got Pierce, you got Frere now down to the 5th position. So Springer really starting to make some passes here up to 3rd already. Let's see how he got by his teammate there. And that might be Ben just kind of letting him go. Ben moves up to the top side there, and Ricky just makes the pass. That bottom section very tricky with bumps. And when I say bumps, you notice it was plural. It's not just one specific bump. It is ones that will knock your teeth loose if you hit them right. Not really, it's a sim, but you know. As we've been green all 15 laps here so far. So 21 laps complete. You see Caden Atkins there as he was running pretty close with his teammate. Christopher Dean up ahead of them right now by 0.2 of a second. But so far, so good here. And you see Fontaine continuing to pull away. You see Springer, though, starting to kind of approach the back end of that Brian Sutphin truck as we go on board to 51. Of course, Delaney watching his girlfriend. There's those bumps a little bit there in turn 2. Go down to turn 3. Let it slide up to about that white line. Almost a diamond, and you bring it off the corner. You got to be very patient getting back to the throttle. See Day watching tonight also. Drift, of course, staying as usual hellos in chat before he goes racing. Oh, Ricky getting a little loose there. Check back here. Matt Telder riding in the 6th position right now. Telder started 9th, so he's moved up just a little bit here. And he's coming up on the back of Jeremy Frere, who's having his best run. I heard Jeremy kind of, before the race started, made the comment of, you know what? I think I'm going to scratch the rest of this season and start over right here. Race number 9 tonight. Yeah, unfortunately, he's only got 5 races. But you know what? Nothing wrong. Just start a little streak now. 5-race season, and go get the best finishes you can. You never know what could pay off. Could be a good top 5 run when it's over with, or a top 10 or something. So, or a couple of them. Maybe even a win. You never know. That's what's great. You get to run these races, and who knows what you could pull off there. So, I like the confidence. Sometimes you just got to reset. It's almost the best thing to do. And right now he's trying to hold off Telder there in that 2 truck. Of course, I mentioned a little bit ago the fantasy website on GLSR, which is GreatLakesSimRacing.com. Your chance to sign up for that butt kicker prize. If you get the best score tonight, you're in for the drawing to win a butt kicker. So make sure you have your lineups ready to rock and roll. Of course, next week in Michigan, you can get that lineup all set up after this race. Once everything is loaded up, points-wise and stuff, you can go in there and set your lineup for that. Edwards Setup Shop, of course. The setups in the truck tonight are done by Edwards Setup Shop. And, of course, the sponsor tonight, which is a new one, and if you've never heard of them, it is actually a gentleman I know pretty well, Mr. Michael Steffen, who had his own short track Super League series that he ran on Saturday or on Thursday nights. And of course, I was part of the broadcast there. But basically, what they do at Sabulski Window Tinting is they're 100% mobile, and they bring the window tinting to you. They focus on convenience and letting you decide when and where you'd like for them to take care of you. And of course, they serve areas of Davie County, Moxville, Lexington, Clemens, Winston-Salem, and more up there in the North Carolina area. You can get your free quote today. Just make sure you check out SabulskiWindowTinting.com. That is the website. Shout out to Michael Steffen. Hopefully he's doing pretty well. Haven't talked to him in a while. So everybody's pretty stretched out here. As I say that. We watched the 40 truck of Tyler Brewer go a lap down. As you see Telder going by them. Lap time's fallen off about 0.8 of a second so far. Let's go back here and check on Stephen Miles. Miles and Luke Daniels racing here. Miles trying to turn that luck around. He's still right there on the edge of the playoffs. He's had a great rookie season. One of the better rookie seasons you'll see in history. A little different colors on that Nashville Rooftop Bar Tour truck. He's running right behind that 28 of Luke Daniels. That's at the 11th position right now. And then back here, Sean Peach and Degadine battling a Red Sim Design sandwich, even though Dean's not really a part of that team, but he does run the sponsorship for support. Nothing's impossible. I mean, you guys ran 3 wide last week at Talladega in an ARCA car for about 100 laps. "35 laps complete." And tonight you're seeing the reason. If you're watching this tonight and you're like, you always hear drivers when they talk Nashville, they're like, run the short track at Nashville, run the short track, not the super speedway. Well, you're seeing it tonight. This is the short track at Nashville, and you're seeing these trucks get around here pretty good pace, pretty clean so far. I don't see too many beaten up trucks. There's plenty of, like I said, space out there on the track for great racing. As you see, Alex Cummings, last week's winner from Myrtle Beach, leading Dalton and leading Lucas Strayer. Fontaine's led all the laps so far. A little redemption race, if you will, for him tonight. So if you did not put Fontaine in your lineup tonight, that might not have been the best decision, because he was pretty ticked off, we'll say, last week. J.W. Miller, Blaine Sparling, Drayton Cook, Tim Averill back here with Cam Ingram. These guys fighting it out. According to Day, apparently clean water will not be in the future for Mr. Cam. I guess for him, he'll just go out in the Gulf of Mexico and take a bath or something then, potentially. And look at this, leaders in the lap traffic. That is Dalton Wilson going a lap down. Next will be Drift and then Alex Bryson. Man, I guess there could be worse water to take a bath in. There you see drift up ahead. There's Alex Bryson, 23rd and 24th, and then Cam Ingram in front of them. Brian Sutphin right there on the tail. Let's go back here as Jason Dalton looking to make a move. Dalton finishing second last week in Myrtle Beach. And what I'm noticing here real quickly is a lot of the short track guys coming to the front. The ones that can ace the short track racing and are pretty good at it, those are the guys you're seeing working their way up there. You see Springer, you see Pierce, you see Fontaine and Sutphin already up there. Telder's up there. Here comes Dalton now. So those who are short track aces, if you will, are working their way up. Of course, Nashville, what was it, a week ago, I believe, hosted the All-American 400. Its traditional late model event. Not sure who won the event, but I know they showed a highlight of one car getting airborne going into turn one. That was kind of scary looking. So, of course, when you're about to go a lap down, the action picks up, right? So let's look right here. Oh, Cam and Lukens almost making contact and had to get out of the gas. Drayton Cook and Tim Averill right there, 20th and 21st. Great stuff so far. Of course, if you got the chance to, I know not many of you really get a chance to, but or watch or probably get bored by it, which I totally understand if you do. But of course, each and every night, post-broadcast or post-race, usually I have to fly somewhere. And if you've not had a chance to check it out, I do have the Microsoft Flight Simulator now. And I actually stream it over on my Twitch channel, which is the same, Captain Esports Network. And you can watch it over on Twitch of me flying a plane over to the next track that I'm broadcasting at. And tonight I'm actually going to be flying back to Gainesville, where I live, in Georgia. And then from there, going to switch planes, because I have two planes. I have one that I fly short distances, and then ones that I fly long. And going to fly to Texas. Oh, contact Lukens getting into the 8 truck of Drayton Cook. Robert roughing some people up. But going to be flying to Texas Friday for the All-American ARCA Series. Actually, it'll be tomorrow night. Oh, and some contact there. Zabel goes up the track now. And 4 wide as Cam Ingram gets turned. Brian Sutphin's there. And Ricky Springer gets in it. Lap traffic calamity. And the first caution out, lap 52. That's going to be the keyword now. All-American ARCA Series. Rack. I'll test that theory again in a few laps. How's that? Let's see the replay of what happened here. He's making that joke because on a short track, they seem to have some issues there. I think, well, there's no theory, but anyways. All right, so let's see what happens here. Something seemed wrong with both of the TI trucks of Averill and Drayton Cook. I'm going to slow it down here a little bit and watch this. Sam's going to go by, and you're going to see the 3 and the 8 kind of check up mid-corner here and slow up. And maybe the 8's slowing up to the 3. Something must have happened. You know what? I wonder if there was contact with Tim, maybe? You see sparks right there. I think that comes from the 3 truck. And then you're going to see Cam go to the apron to try to kind of miss what could be happening. He clips the apron. And Brian Sutphin is in the middle of nowhere in 3 wide. He's going to slide up to Miss Cam. And there's Drayton. hits Cam, and then Springer's right there behind him. Oh no, friendly fire. And Pierce gets into Ricky, who gets sideswiped and busts a bottle of vodka. There's Telder locking him down, literally. All right, so I want to see real quickly, as we do have pit stops here, and we'll show you those here in a second. Let me show Tim. Oh, right. Oh, wow. That makes a lot of sense here. Calamity. Mrs. Springer, appreciate you. All right, so... Oh... I think there was something up right here. I don't see anything. I didn't see anything when I backed up the replay, just trying to get a sneak peek of it. April's sitting here trying to get around to 59, which, yes, again, there's been that talk about the Red Sim Designs car truck team being a little defensive, but I don't see anything blatant here at all. It looks like Tim goes to move Blaine and gets loose. I could be wrong by that, but then everything happens and bam, there's the wreck. So, unfortunate deal there. As we get ready to go, one to go, let's update. Everybody did pit at lap 53, and Fontaine won the race off pit road as everybody took tires. One of their 3 sets. Everybody did come in. So Fontaine, Sutphin, Pierce, Springer, and Alex Cummings going to be your top 5. And pace start's been waved off. And that's basically due to the trucks not being fully organized or something. Of course, Kevin gives them the word and says, hey, you guys can go here or whatever. Telder's up there with Cummings, Dalton, Cruz, Strayer, and Sean Peachin. As we come to the green flag at lap number 58 now. And as Fontaine takes the top side. Here we go. Almost 3 and 4 wide. Telder, not a good restart at all. Telder, terrible restart. Did he start in like 4th gear or something? I saw Stephen Miles getting out of shape. It looks like he's falling to the back here, so not sure what's going on with the 7 truck. Unfortunate deal there, but you see some damage on the 41, some nose damage there. So let's go back and roll that beautiful bean footage. What happened to Tedler just now on the restart here? Something tells me the 41 got in the back of him. Tedler was restarting 5th at the moment. Oh, yeah, he missed a shift. Something happened there. And a big checkup. Dalton and Strayer get it. And he tries to get in line as quick as he can. Looks like either missed a shift or... And caution, Brandon Olfen has gone around. Brandon, part of the TIX team, and unfortunately, talked about him a little bit during the podcast this week, and, you know, I kind of threw the term out there on him. I said, unfortunately, he's had a year that's not been good enough to make the playoffs, and here he is again in trouble on lap number 62. And I think Telder might have been involved also. Let's see what takes place here. Oh, Olfen tail slaps it. 56, and Telder gets in it. Also, There's turn 2 for you. Calamity Corner. As the great Ken Squire used to say. On board with the 21. Unfortunately, Alphen just loses it. And we'll go back to the restart real quick with Telder and listen real quick. And let's see if we can hear him miss the shift or whatever happens here. Because it'll clearly describe what went on as we went to green here. Back it up a little bit more. Here we go. That's the same issue that happened to Fontaine. And the irony of that whole thing is they both have the same pedals. So unfortunately for Telder, he drift. It looks like a couple others more getting damage fixed than anything right now as the second caution comes out. So I was describing a little bit ago the whole flight thing. So basically, yeah, I'll be flying to Texas for the Friday night event. And then Saturday, ready for this one. I got to go from Texas to Long Beach. I get to fly to California. And then from Long Beach, stand by. I'll let you know exactly where I'm going. Wherever the Sim 500 race is on Sunday. They are at... Oh, that'll be fun. So we're going to go from Long Beach to Talladega, back to Texas. And then stay in Texas for 2 days, and then go to Michigan. I'm going to be all over the map, basically, in this plane. So come enjoy the flight. I'm usually there talking. Sometimes I do other things when I put autopilot on. I'll go, like, clean the house up or something so you can enjoy the ride. I try to show some things if I see it out there, but most of the time it's been at night, which is unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Yeah, pretty much. All right, Fontaine leads it back to the green. Dane Cruz up into the 4th position. Working the comers and goers, part of short track racing here. Cruz working the top side on Brian Sutphin here. Dane this season has crossed the line first twice, but unfortunately only has one win as he was stripped of the win at Talladega with the accident that happened with he and Miles. That was unfortunate for both involved there. And Cruz having a great season in his return back to the series. Sutphin trying to push him up the track just a little bit. Going to clear him off the corner, and Springer going to try to get a run. You wonder how much damage he has on that truck. You see the right side obviously swept up a little bit. Here's Pearson Peachin. The battles of the peas, if you will. 2 peas in a pod. That'd be a heck of a name of a podcast if they were both on at once. Oh, a little door bang in there. That's some short tracking. I'm good with that. Ooh, Peachin got a little loose on entry there. Do you see Dean back there? The 10th position there as he battles with Caden Atkins. J.W. Miller, who unfortunately missed the Myrtle Beach race last week, back at the track here tonight. And J.W. in the 12th position right now. You know how much you got to roll the throttle. You almost don't go back to the throttle until you're on the straightaway. Caden making moves. He's inside of the 48 of Dean, who's got some heavy left side damage on that truck. Of course, you got the 6 there, JW Miller. He's looking to make moves now. Luke Daniels back there under attack. Robert Lukens, who continues to make passes. Remember, he was at the back of the field trying to stay on the lead lap, and now he's up here in the 13th position. Robert Lukens, somebody, oh, he gets loose. Hold on, before I put the broadcaster's jinx on him. I'll stop talking about him now. Tyler Brewer, who was a lucky dog a couple cautions ago, he's right there in the 40 truck, 16th position. Then Telder and some of the trucks involved in cautions. Back here at lap number 80 now. Fontaine has led every lap so far. Dane Cruz has been able to hold off Springer for third, who's got Alex Cummings there for fifth. A lot of action. And the old fan cam, let's bring her out, boys. Putting them in the grandstands here. Ooh, Caden putting a little bumper to Peachin. And just sitting here with a Black Horizon brew. If you live up or go up towards the Chicago area, of course, you can check them out. They're the sponsor of the series in the Black Horizon Truck Series. As, hold on, Lucas, he's loose again. Oh, he's getting that right rear ticked off. As Frere makes a pass on Dean for position. Lucan's having all kinds of issues. He just needs to back off a little bit here. He's been trying to make passes on that inside. Settle down, just get back into a rhythm. He's doing a great job right now. You're going to get loose at times. It's one of those things where you want to back off and just kind of let it come back to you. Don't push the truck into a spot where you make a situation maybe worse, like falling back there just from getting loose. I'm hearing some chirping. Let's check on Telder. Telder in that 2 truck, some nose damage obviously from that contact. And this is what I was just steering. Telder into the back of Drayton. Drayton, unfortunately, is a lap down, I'm seeing. 26th position for him. Telder almost has him clear, but Drayton gets the run down the straightaway here. They're both sending it pretty deep into the corner, else I would say Telder could slide him, but it's really hard to do. You need the other car to not drive it as deep to clear him. Here, he might be able to do it here. He'll slide up the track, make the pass, and carry on. Good, clean racing. Back here, Lucas Strayer making moves on the outside of Brewer. There's Stephen Miles with them, so a lot of beating and banging going on. But up here at the front, KJD2 is running away with this show. Fontaine and Sutphin have been the top 2. Dane Cruz, Red Sim Design there in third. And then you got the 518 Motorsports team with Ricky Springer up fourth. And then the Lap 1 Legends in fifth. with the 63 of Alex Cummings, Luke Knupp up to 7th, Jason Dalton, Ben Pierce, Sean Peachin, and Caden Atkins, your top 10 right now, as we're already 8 laps from halfway in the Sabulski Window Tinting 200 here at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, virtually on iRacing. This is Luke Knupp in this 29 truck. 18 viewers tonight. Appreciate you guys joining us. As always, you can hit that subscribe button if you're one of the new 18 viewers. If you're one of the established ones like the Springer family and stuff, easy. Of course, we appreciate you coming back and listening to myself. Everybody doing a great job. You see Dalton, you see Pierce back there. Not really any big separations outside of 3rd and 4th. And about a 2-second separation between those guys. How about Dane Cruz, though? Let's check him out up here in the 46 truck. Started 20th. He kind of made the joke out loud, or not out loud, but more in Discord, that he was going to run in the back most of the night. And here he is, running in the 3rd position after starting in the 20th position. Next week, the traditional race known as the Prehistoric Force 200, as it has been the last race of the schedule pretty much since the beginning of the playoffs of the regular season. We'll wrap it up next week in Michigan. 100 laps and 200 miles of racing next Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern, which will set us up for the first playoff event of the season. And we'll see what 10 drivers will advance. I think one of the conversations that we talked about on the podcast a little bit this past week, and one that is, I think it's still the hype of what happened Sunday. Excuse me again, in the Cup race with Ross Chastain pulling the iRacing move out, if you will. The video game move. A lot of people thought it was awesome. I don't disagree. I thought it was a fantastic move for his part. But I think it also shows that, unfortunately, the playoffs, when it comes to NASCAR and stuff, is Sutphin, or not Sutphin, sorry, I blamed Sparling up the track. There goes a lap down. Not maybe as, I guess some might call it a joke. Let's just put it like that. I'm not going to say it's exactly a joke, but it's something I've more and more not become a fan of the last couple of seasons. And it's one that we actually talked about on the podcast. If you go check out this week, we had a little roundtable discussion with a few people. I know Telder was on there, Luke Daniels, Kevin Davis, myself, and who was the other? Sean Peachin was there. And we discussed that whole thing. And talked about should the playoffs continue in this league. And I thought it was it was a good conversation. And I shared my opinion about it. And, obviously that's something that will stay in the podcast and things. And you can go check it out on Spotify and stuff. Pretty much, Clark. I mean, in fairness, I sent out a message, before we recorded. I said, hey, anybody wants to come on the podcast? Jump in. And not one single person replied, and here come all the Treehouse at one time. Which Telder was going to be on there already anyways. So you see Alex Cummings has got by Ricky Springer for 4th. So you can tell, obviously, the 51 probably driving tight, if I had to ask.
So he's struggling some here and there to keep it at full speed.
As Kevin talks about Springer being a little tight and around, Luke Knupp over in turn 3 and 4.
Well, I just went ahead and said that word, and boom, there we are.
Good job. Good job, Kev. Somebody had to do it for us. I already caused it once, so you can get the other one.
Catch the pace car, guys.
So Kevin Davis will go look at that single truck spin. Luke Knupp over in turn 3 and 4 brings out caution. Numero tres. Ooh, Dalton with a little yeet job. Nice lazy spin there, and Luke continues on. Only loses like 2 spots from the whole thing. We should see pit stops here, I think, and yes, we do. Here come the leaders. So 90 laps to go and 1 set of tires for whoever pits right here, pretty much. Fontaine's led all the laps as they come to pit road here. Right side tires will go on. Oh, some strategy. Oh, that's Drift doing Drift things. Don't mind Drift as Fontaine wins the race off pit road. Drift is doing the whole, oops, I passed my pit stall move. He does it all the time. And watch Drift. He'll come right back to pit road once he catches the pace car. He'll actually lead a lap here, so he's going to break Sam's leading every lap streak. Good job, Drift. Let's talk to Dane. Let's get the 46 here, having a great race. If I can find him, there he is down in the RSD. And let's get Dane here. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got you. What's up?
Oh, another day in paradise. But here you are running up in P3. I'm sensing now that was sarcasm. You in the Discord chat earlier saying I'm going to run in the back. Here you are running in the front.
Started back there.
You did start back there, but here you are in third, man. What's up? Or second now.
It's been a good race. I like this track a lot. I've ran here quite a bit. I don't know. It's just something about it. I think I've been saving my tires good. Been moving up through the field, getting some spots on pit road. So I'm having a good time here. I don't know if I got anything for Fontaine. I'm really interested to see what line he takes here. And he has his teammate, of course. So, but yeah, it's been a good one. Want to lead a lap or two, get some points. We're close to the chase. So yeah, looking for a good one here.
What kind of feel are you getting out of the car? Are you getting looseness like Myrtle Beach last week, or is it getting tighter throughout the run?
It, but it's showing
It's tight-ish. Yeah, center off. It's a little tight, but it's manageable. It's not terrible. It's good enough. So
Works for me.
yeah, setup's all right.
All right, buddy. Where you going back to green here? Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Dane Cruz running in the second position. We'll get him down to his RSD channel and get him ready for the restart here.
Oh, we're delaying it.
Oh, never mind. We're going to wait a minute. This gives me more time to move him. Bye. Delaying the green. This will give me a chance to get everything set back up here. As Fontaine leads, you saw Drift did come to pit road. Sutphin running third, Springer, and Alex Cummings going to be your top 5. So pretty much everybody in the field will have 1 set of tires left. Robert Lukens took his truck behind the wall, so after marching his way up there through the field, he
All right, guys, there'll be no penalty on that. I'm showing that code over here.
marched it back off the track. You hear Kevin kind of mentioned there in chat, he's calling net code between Dalton and Luke Knupp in the end. So, unfortunate deal there. All right, as we come to the green flag, let's hope we can pull this one off. We're going to turn it up. Hey, we tried. Caution's back out for the fourth time. Alex Bryson in the 38 has gone around. Let's see what happens. Oh, goes around off turn 4 there. Just loses the back end. Locks it down. So Bryson brings out the fourth caution here at 120. All right, so lucky dog Cam Ingram back on the lead lap. He has a chance at clean water again, apparently. All right, so while we're under caution, let's take a look again. We got a sneak peek of it, what was going on while we were in the pre-race. Let's take a look at the points again as we entered tonight. Of course, Springer led the points over Fontaine by 23, and then Cummings right there in third. Canup, Luke Daniels. It's that 10th place area. That's what we need to watch right now, because you have a lot of drivers within about 60 points from 6th all the way down to about 15th or so. And I bring that up because, remember, this is the old school NASCAR point system from the 90s. So this isn't the 43 to 1 deal. This is the 175 down to 34 for 43rd place. So if you're within technically 140 points next week going into Michigan, you could get in the playoffs. Here's the bad news, though, where I kind of shoot that down. One, we need 43 drivers to do that. And two, obviously, it's much harder to pass a lot of people. Things would have to happen for that to happen. So we look at it realistically, 100 points, we'll call it. So you look at the 10th place driver being at 969. So basically, from Luke Canup all the way down to Brian Sutphin, if not J.W. Miller. That's 20 drivers, or make that 16 drivers that technically, within numbers, could fall out of the playoffs or get into the playoffs in that range. That's pretty crazy right now as we go to round 10 next week in Michigan and set the playoff field. All right, Fontaine leads him back to the green. Dane Cruz out inside, and not a good restart as the teammates jump the restart on the outside. And I mean that in a positive way. They didn't actually jump it. Oh, and J.W. Miller with issues. And we hit that little stretch of the race where cautions breed cautions, unfortunately. 124, caution number 5. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh, teammates nose to tail here. And we have some friendly fire. Oh, no, Taylor got into the back of the 6. Let's see. Gets hit. Let's watch from Telder here. Telder, good restart on Pierce. I don't know if he loses the nose there or what happened, but unfortunately gets in the back of the 6. Unfortunate short track situation. Brings out the caution. All right, so let's pull up the schedule and let you see what it looks like the rest of the way here. So it's Michigan next week, which, by the way, is the 100th race in this league's history. Tonight, race number 99. Next week, race number 100. That's a big congratulations to the whole entire Great Lakes Sim Racing Series. Travis and Sam and all those guys kind of getting ready for that 100th race. That'll be next week at Michigan. And then we'll kick off the second of 100. The race number 101 from the Iowa Speedway. And they'll do some veteran paint schemes there. And then we'll go to Most Sport up in Canada. We'll come see Mr. Clark. And it'll be my first ever plane trip out of the country. Clark, I'm coming to see you. Well, other side of the world. But anyways. Oh, wait, no. I flew to Montreal once. Never mind. Indianapolis, round number 13 in Chicagoland. The traditional final race of the season, I should say. December 14th before we go into the Christmas holidays. All right, shake it off. Here we go. Go back racing. It has been the Fontaine Sutphin show here. And I have an idea if we get another caution here, so I'm going to try something. As Fontaine leads them, Sutphin lets him go into the corner there. And now the battle for third is Springer should clear Cruz, not clean them. You never want to do that. Alex Cummings, Luke Knupp right there. Also 5th and 6th, and then Dalton. So a lot of the Red Sim Design trucks starting to come to the front, and along with the KJD2 team is up there. Telder trying to work his way back up there. Luke Daniels there behind him. Teammates there. Luke in that 40 racewear truck. Stephen Miles making a pass. And here comes Brandon Alfenbach with damage. Jeremy Frere trying to battle still. Lucas Strayer also in that battle with Daniels back there. Oh, and around goes Luke Daniels. Hold on, Luke. And he does go around. Oh, Frere, big contact. Drayton Cook. Tim Averill stops. Drayton Cook is all in the air and stuff. And caution out for the 6th time. As the Lukes battle out. So they got a little inside joke going on. All the Lukes battle for the best Luke. And you see Luke Daniels gets loose. Tries to overcorrect it. Spins back to the inside. And others come in there hot. Look at that. Drayton Cook goes almost up and over. Frere gets involved. Dalton Wilson involved. Alex Bryson maybe getting a piece of it. Let's, what did Drayton see here? Other than the side of his truck. There's Luke getting loose. And he gets hit from behind. And continues on. Let's look at this from the back of Daniels here. Well, that makes sense. Car contact, 0x. In this case, there's a 4x involved. He's okay here. Tank slapper. Dean checks up. Hits the wall, and then Frere's right there. And so is Cam Ingram, I think. Alright, so I'm going to mute my mic for a quick second just to do something real quickly. I'll be right back literally in a minute. Alright, here I am. I didn't realize. I thought they were counting it down. I just went down there and checked with the KGD2 guys real quickly. And because what I was thinking about doing was letting you hear the countdown and them going to the green. But the problem is they're not doing a countdown. They're just picking a mark on the track and they're going. There's that one idea. But hey, thanks to KGD2 for letting me jump down there for a second. Alright, coming back to the green. 60 laps to go. After caution number 6, we've had 3 in the last 20 laps. And, of course, there's Mr. Casey Carrington checking in right on cue. And as soon as Davis told him you're clear to fire, they did. Green flag back out. Ooh, Canup pinching Cummings down on them bumps. Well, I mean, they could have. I tried to get them to do it. I mean, they could have made one up at least. I mean, you never know if we have people listening or watching for the first time or watching and never really been in one of the chats and hear the team do that. I thought it'd be kind of cool to play it over the air. I tried. Trying to be creative in the broadcast world. Up in the logos, Tyler Brewer. I always try to do different things. Oh, well, yeah, I kind of did just force myself down there. They did say hi, though, at least. They didn't offer me anything, but at least they said hi. I mean, they could have been like, dude, get the out of here, you know. I mean, you wonder if everybody's going to kind of... Somebody having some blinking issues. Thought I heard him say Teller, but I'm not sure. I haven't noticed anybody blinking on my screen. We watch Alex Cummings putting pressure on Canup. Don't say what? It? Alex gets a good run into the corner here, trying to make the pass. Very tough to do. And Luke kind of lets him go there a little bit there. So Alex, great pass. Luke maybe saving some tire a little bit here. As again, everybody has one set of tires to get them to the finish of this race here. As Brian Sutphin has got himself back to second. Ricky Springer up to third. Dane Cruz now fourth. As Cummings takes the fifth position. Everybody kind of minding their business all the way back here to Brandon Alphin. 16th position, trying to get underneath the 59, not able to do so. Season 6 champion there, having, unfortunately, not so good of a season, trying to get himself into the playoffs a third straight season. Or, I should say, into the Final Four a third straight season. He's right on the bubble right now, 10th position in points. Looks like this field kind of getting spread out a little bit here, which is good. Get them back into a little green flag order here. I think if they get down to 15, 20, 25 laps to go, somewhere in that range, that is the point where you might see these guys come to pit road if a caution comes out and take that last set of tires. Lap times right now only about a half second off the pace. Strayer, Peachin, Ben Pierce, and then Stephen Miles back there. Miles is trying to have a complete race without issues. Name I haven't said most of this season. Tiki Slinger. the alter ego of the 51 truck. Ricky about to finish up his first, I believe, full campaign of being a pit crew member in NASCAR. Been doing a good job also on Sunday nights as he's been in the booth with me for the Sim 500 Truck Series. Yeah, definitely a talented young man right here. As Dane Cruz going to go by there, putting the pressure on Ricky. And doing some stuff for college and things at University of Northwest Ohio. And here he is now, running his third season of GLSR. Now in the fourth position there. Check on Jason Dalton back here, fourth in the Ford truck here, running behind luking up. Remember earlier, he still had a little netcode contact. And Knupp went for a little ride. Didn't hit anything. Well, let's see how this one goes here. I know Dalton obviously is a very clean driver. But we got 37 laps to go. Let's see if he tries to go top side here or to the bottom. I'm guessing bottom because usually these trucks slide up the track a little bit here, mid-bank. As they try to get up here to the back of Alex Cummings. As Fontaine and them go around Cam Ingram, who's got some heavy damage. He's just trying to stay out of the way and log laps. Cam in the 22nd position. Ben Pierce back here in the 12th position for the 18 truck that had a good starting spot tonight. Looked like might have another good run, but unfortunately it's kind of falling back. He's got a clean truck. I'll say that. Look at that truck. That thing's pristine. I would dare somebody to go up there and hit it. He might get mad at me, though. How about Telder? That 2 truck's worked his way up to 9th. He's been involved in a couple accidents tonight. That truck's had better nights. 9th position, started 9th in that 2 truck. Trying to get into the playoffs for a 2nd straight season. And here we go. 4 trucks under a blanket as we battle for the 4th position. Ricky, don't look back. There's a bunch of trucks. Alex Cummings looking up. Jason Dalton is here. And then see Caden Atkins trying to catch up to this battle a little bit.
Just talking about this with this little bit to go left in the race, you'll see these guys like Dalton and Atkins and Cummins coming up here towards the front right here at the end, just kind of sneaking right in the top 5 and making their way to a podium finish possibly.
Yeah, this is where you see those short track aces, as we talked about. Cummings getting by Ricky. Ricky's got to be fighting, I'm assuming, a tight truck with that damage on there. But Cummings goes by, and he's one of those that slowly works his way up, kind of David Pearson like we talked about in the podcast. If you've never watched a race with David Pearson back in the 70s, best way to look at it, think of like a Terry Labonte type of race, something like that, where it was like you never heard a word from Pearson, and all of a sudden past halfway, here comes that Wood Brothers 21 car to the front. It was like, wait a minute, where did he come from? That's exactly Alex Cummings like race right there as he works his way to the 4th position. Unfortunately, though, he's 4 seconds back from the KJD 2 truck tandem that's pulling away here. Appreciate Davis jumping up and talking to us there. Kevin's very good at surprising me, and I'm like, oh, wait, let me turn his mic on. Ah, he did it again.
To get to come away.
He did it again.
Get away from the action and come hang out with you and talk about what's going on track sometimes.
What did I do to deserve that? Hey, I did find out 2 words that I could say that brings out a caution. Actually, 3 words.
Is it going to make Sam Fontaine mad?
It might. As Cruz gets to the inside of Sutphin, I mean, I guess all I got to do is say All-American ARCA Series. That's 4 words. It worked earlier. I said it and the caution came out. Unintentionally said it and it caution. I was like, wait a minute.
We could probably knock it down to 3 words if we hyphenate it.
No stress, buddy.
I'm sure Casey's going to yell at me and say, but stop saying my league's name. But then it's like, well, don't you want me to promote it?
That's what we need to do next season. Get us a yellow flag sponsor. They'd get plenty of publicity.
There's plenty of sponsor spots open. I mean, we got, let's see, you got Turn It Up we could sponsor. We got, you know, we could have even a race control sponsor for you. We've got, let's see, yellow flags, the white flag. You can even
If we get a race control sponsor, I'm going to need some free swag. I'm gonna need a T-shirt with a sponsorship logo on there, maybe even my initials or my name or something, race official.
So what if it ends up being like a feminine product?
I mean, if they got a T-shirt, I guess I'll still rock it. Good thing I'm not on webcam.
There you go. Well, wait a minute here. All right, battle here still continues on for fourth. Cummings is driven away, so unfortunately for Ricky, this is where in short track racing you realize I'm the problem here. Because Knup's trying to work him over now and get around him, and Alex Cummings is just driven away. And Luke is leaning on him.
Yeah, he's definitely, there he goes. He's going to go underneath him right here. Yep.
Oh, he's going to get loose on entry, though.
Yeah, Ricky's just looking for a good finish. I don't think he's going to battle him too hard and end up taking both of them out.
Well, oh my! And he slid up it. Oh boy! Yeah, make sure the audio.
I say that.
Let me make sure the audio's off before Ricky fires something off there. Dalton goes by too. Unfortunately, I don't know if there was actual contact or Leneka was really close. But Luke with the little excuse me, pardon me. But yeah, good to see Springer having a good run after what happened last week, and he still ended up 9th, I think it was, in the Myrtle Beach race. All right,
yeah, I mean, he's pretty locked into the playoff. I feel like now he's just scoring for team points and just kind of getting good finishes to definitely secure his way in. But I'm pretty sure, just like him and Fontaine, they're secured well off into the playoffs.
I sure hope he's locked in. He's the points leader.
Yeah, well, you know, a couple flags here and there can change that every once in a while. So.
Yeah, that's true. So set me up a pass here at Nashville, because this place is tough. Obviously, the groove is almost, you got to straddle the white stripe line, right, just like Ricky's doing right now. Is almost the way to get around here. So set me up a pass around Nashville. How, like, am I getting around somebody here outside of a bumper?
I mean, outside of a bumper, I mean, Peachin was talking about it the other day when we were at Myrtle Beach, and I mean, it kind of applies here as well. I mean, you don't always have to put the bumper on, but just being in someone's mirror, you're putting that added pressure in, and they're going to make mistakes eventually. You just got to be patient and just capitalize on it whenever it does happen. They will push, slide up the track, you know, might even possibly wobble a little bit, get a little loose, and kind of have to regather it, but a lot of times you can just put that pressure on somebody and don't actually have to make the contact, and they'll make that mistake, and as long as you're there to capitalize on it, you're golden.
Not to mention you mentioned the mirror as Telder's loose and around he goes.
Oh, yep.
I was just about to say Telder's around the Red Sim design truck again, and bada bang, he goes around. Caution number 7, and I don't mean that in a negative way, you just never know what could happen. Caution number 7, 13 laps to go. Let's see what happens to the 2 truck. As caution comes out for the 7th time here with 13 laps to go. Tyler gets right up behind Cade in there, and I think he just gets back to the throttle too quickly, and the back end goes around. It just goes for a lazy spin. And caution comes out again for the 7th time. Plenty of room for him to get around and get back on before he goes a lap down. And leaders to pit road for that last set of tires, right on cue. As I expected.
Yeah, it looked like Atkins just barely bobbled off of exit right there, and netcode from the left rear of Atkins into Telder's right front. They never really changed lanes or anything, but they netcoded together, and that's what caused the spin with the 2-car.
And obviously that brings out the caution there. Is appreciate Kevin's input there on that. And just mute my mic here for a quick second, and we'll get ready for this restart that we're going to go green. We got some strategy here. Brandon Alphin has stayed out. And Fontaine, interesting strategy here with 9 laps to go. All right, so Brandon Alphin takes the outside lane. He last pitted at lap 110. 78 lap tires. Going to try to steal himself a win or maybe some track position here, worst case, as he tries to hold off Fontaine, Brian Sutphin, Alex Cummings, Dane Cruz, and Luke Knupp there, your front 3 rows as we come back to green. 8 laps to go. No risk it, no biscuit for the 21 as Fontaine goes by. 3 wide down the back.
And once you counted them out, here's the 63.
Oh, and around goes Cummings into the wall. There's a mistake you don't see often.
Yeah, I'm just going to quit talking good about people.
You haven't learned this yet?
I mean, I didn't think it was, like, instant.
Oh, yeah, it's like you say the name, bada bing.
I mean, literally, he's breaking out in the middle 3 wide down the backstretch. I mentioned his name, and going into 3, it's like he's ice skating.
Well, I mean, fresher tires. Makes sense. Great job by Alphin, though, to kind of hold the track position there. And, yeah, Alex just gets in there deep, and around she goes.
I do want to commend Alex for this. It's something you don't always see, but it is very courteous of others that do, and people get very upset about it. But Alex did a great job
Locking it down.
making contact with that wall, locking it down, because that could have been really nasty if he had come back down the track.
Absolutely. Race director's curse, as Casey says in chat. Good job.
It happens. Who y'all want me to call out next?
Oh, let's see. Just go have fun. How's that? This caution actually becomes a really big break for Brandon Alphin. Yes, he lost the lead, but now is going to be 3rd as we run under caution here. And this is going to run really close to a green-white checker finish now. And from there, if he can just hold on for all of 8 corners and steal a top 10 finish, then he wins out on this whole deal. You know, some people get confused when they see somebody stay out or play a strategy and think to themselves, hey, you know, he's trying to win the race. Yeah, he is trying to win the race in all honesty, but at the same time, if you're running in the 15th position, hypothetically, and you take 2 tires or you stay out and you get a caution like this and you finish 7th, guess what? You just gained 8 spots by not pitting. A lot of people don't think about that. So it's go ahead.
And he's right on the bubble of the playoffs, so he's trying to get every last point he can to get into these playoffs.
So that's where calls like this, sometimes at a track like this, can be paying off. I mean, you saw right before that, there was somebody else, can't remember who it was off the top of my head, that stayed. I think it was Blaine Sparling, had stayed out and led a lap. And, you know, he obviously came to pit road after that. So, but Fontaine back to the front here, looking for another win. And if so, he would become the 3rd driver in league history to cross the double-digit platform in wins. I'm just going to make sure just to confirm that really quickly. As he sits 3rd on the all-time wins list. Yep, tied with Calhoun for 3rd with 9 career wins. So if he can win this race, he'll be the 3rd with 10. Of course, Springer and Allman being the others. That just shows you how competitive this series has been for 8 seasons. We're about to hit race number 100. And we have no more than 13 wins by a guy in their career. As we come to the green flag, 2 laps to go. This is not an actual green-white checker.
Dolphin got a horrible restart that time. Almost got ran over down the front straightaway.
Peachin on the outside. Caden Atkins in the inside as they come off turn 3 and 4.
And we've got one in the
And
wall.
caution as Peachin has gone around. And now we do have a green-white checker. And more people. J.W. Miller front straightaway. Multiple wrecks on this one. All right, let's see what happens here. That brings out the 9th caution. We had 2 different wrecks in one here. It starts with Sean Peach, and they were 3 wide going to the corner. What happens to the one truck? Gets up pretty high there, almost smacks the wall. Oh, he and Alfin maybe touch a little. Oh, wow, that's a lick. And unfortunately, up in smoke goes the one truck. I mean, that's just tough racing at that moment. And then on the front straightaway, actually, let's show this one more time here. Let's go. Here we go. That's very close. The Alfin does come up the track a little bit, though. Drayton Cook, excuse me, going to the top. And then on the front straightaway, J.W. Miller has issues. Inside his teammate there in the 7 truck. Telder goes in. There's Peach and wrecking. Miles gives plenty of room. Oh, a little beating and banging. Oh, Miles. Oh, no. Friendly fire.
Yeah, it just looked like they were trying to avoid Peach and flipping in the wall, and they all crowded and pinballed off each other. And I believe JW just got the short end of that stick.
Unfortunately. So he's on pit road. So this will officially be green-white checker number 1 of the night. The good news is we're allotted 2 green-white checkers, and because of that, we will not reach the caution amount from Myrtle Beach. So Nashville will win the battle for those who just have some small bet out there. I'm sure someone does. All right, as we get ready to go green, Brian Sutphin, who's been pretty much the, if you want to call him the tag team partner, so to say, with Sam all night, as those two have battled. They will be 1-2. Dane Cruz, Ricky Springer in row number 2. Luke Knupp and Caden Atkins, row 3. So the Red Sim Design boys showing up there at the front. The reason why those guys are up there near the top of the points. As we come back to the green flag back out. Green-white checker number 1 is Knupp, goes to the bottom. Not sure if he had a rough restart or something. Sutphin right on the back of, oh, and trucking the wall back there, it's Abril. I believe that is Tim Abril. Yes, Abril goes around. Looks like drift. Cautions breed cautions. Let's see what happens on this restart. Unfortunately, Teller and April make contact. Caden Atkins' father watching. That's awesome. Well, unfortunately, I can't tell him right now. Like, if I go to his channel, I could probably tell him. I mean, if you really want me to embarrass him, I will. See. Looks like a couple other trucks getting involved there. The 40 of Brewer. Tough situation as caution comes back out for the 10th time. Yeah, he's doing a good job. Hey, actually, you know what? Let's we're gonna have fun with this. Since I appreciate you watching there, Mr. Atkins, I assume. Let's we're gonna have a little fun. Again, I like to be creative, so nobody knows what's gonna happen. Let's pull Caden up here. Caden, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, bud. You're running in the 5th position here. 2 laps to go. How we feeling?
I'm just hoping I can continue to be a restart merchant, because that's pretty much the only time you could pass. I guess unless it's a long green run, but obviously we don't have that anymore. So we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna try not to wreck anybody, because that would not be fun. But yeah, we got this.
So you got somebody watching.
I do.
You do.
Who is it?
I don't know. He's been sharing some weird stories on the air with me.
Oh, who?
I'm
I don't know who
I'm
it is
kidding.
though. I
I'm
haven't
kidding.
been checking it.
It's your dad.
Oh.
Your dad's watching.
Really?
Yeah, your dad's watching. Be proud.
That's cool.
Now don't go wrecking and
Hi,
disappointing.
Dad. I'm gonna dedicate this finish, whether it's last or first, to my dad. Then.
All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Caden Atkins. Get him to his team real quick, Chris. There we go. All right, coming to the green. 2nd of 2. Green, white checker finishes. Will we finish under green? Fontaine leads them. Everybody's clean off 2. Sutphin looking at the bottom. They're going to battle. White flag. Final lap. Cruz looking inside on Springer for 3rd. Brian Sutphin going to try to make a move, but a dominant race again for Fontaine as he becomes the 3rd 10-time winner in series history. Nashville to Fontaine. And the fastest lap of the race for Fontaine. Boy, his words when he was kind of disappointed after last week. And Kevin's in here with me, and what was his words? That's okay about tonight. I'll get him next week. Boy, he wasn't wrong on that one.
No, he was not.
Fontaine 3rd all by himself now in series history. In career wins. And his 3rd win of the season, by the way, for Fontaine. And the only other time he won this season, he went back-to-back, actually, Rockingham and Port Royal. as we show the final results from the Fairgrounds. Oh, well, but still, call Dylan Park your dad. I don't care.
That's pretty funny, actually.
It is. But hey, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going off what people say in chat. You know. Fontaine wins it over Sutphin. I guess the 3 DP would make sense to me, too. But Springer finishing 3rd, Dane Cruz 4th, and Caden Atkins 5th. You're disappointed in me? What did I do?
No, I think he's still talking about Caden.
Oh.
I think they just took over your chat.
It happens. All right. Strayer finishes 6th. No beer for everybody tonight. Lucan up 7th. Jason Dalton, Matt Telder, and Christopher Dean finishes 10th. Alex Cummings finishes 11th after his whoopsies there a couple minutes ago. Blaine Sparling 12th. Alex Bryson 13th. Good comeback for him, unfortunately. Had some rough outing tonight. Cam Ingram 14th. Ben Pierce, Drift. Stephen Miles, another rough finish, unfortunately, there. Brandon Alfin finishes in the 18th position, and I've already seen in some chat a couple people not too thrilled with him. So unfortunately, that tire strategy does not pay off for the 21. Dalton Wilson 19th, Tyler Brewer 20th, Tim Averill 21st, J.W. Miller 22nd, Sean Peachin 23rd, Luke Daniels, Drayton Cook 25th, Jeremy Frere finishes 26th, Robert Lukens in 27th, and that's it. 27 trucks starting the race. I was about to go to 28th. As let's talk to the drivers in the top 3 here. And go get the driver of the number 51 that was all beaten up. Which obviously tells me his truck was not a ghost, like it says on the side. As he got sideswiped, unfortunately, by Mr. Pierce, trying to avoid that wreck and nosed it down into a vodka spot. Go figure. Vodka and an energy drink. I've heard that makes pretty good bombs. Anyways, Mr. Springer finishing in the 3rd position tonight. I heard a little bit of disappointment in your voice because I could hear the frustration of some of the incidents you've been in lately with just in these races, obviously. It's slowing your truck up a little bit, just kind of keeping you away from victory lane and stuff. But another great points tonight and a great 3rd place finish for the point leader.
Yeah, Chris, one of these days, this Ghost TRD Pro Toyota Tundra will get to the end of the race without some damage on it. But, I'm happy we were able to salvage what we did out of it. On the short run, the truck handled fine, but kind of as the run went on, it just got tighter and tighter, and eventually that would burn off the tires, and it just gets snappy loose and pretty much unhandleable from that point.
And snappy loose, I assume, come from turning the wheel too much.
Oh, absolutely. I was going off into the corner, and I'm, times 2 of what I was putting in wheel input-wise of practice in the beginning of the race.
How were you able to keep the truck up there in the top 5? I mean, obviously, made adjustments in truck, brake bias, things like that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was driving the heck out of it. I mean, there was no saving tires for this truck. Anytime we'd get into a run, I mean, I had to drive every last bit that the truck had left in it just to, stay up inside the top 10, let alone the top 5. And, the brake bias adjusting back and forth when the truck would get tight throughout the run and get loose. So just kind of tweaking on it and driving it as hard as I could to stay up there.
Well, it worked out for you, man. You get a top 3 finish here this evening. You go to Michigan looking like pretty much locked into the playoffs, which is good. You get a chance to go for that 2nd championship. But lo and behold, we get away from a track that's a mile or smaller.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the short tracks. I feel like they get a bad rap, and I mean, I feel like the showing, at least the past 2 weeks, wasn't what the whole us drivers as a whole could have produced. I feel like we have a lot of good talent that could have put on better racing. So kind of a bad rep for the last 2 races being on short tracks. So not too excited for the 1.5 miles and bigger, but we'll see what we can do there.
Yeah, at the same time, I think we could agree that having, I think we did 10 tonight or 9 cautions in the end, not terrible for a 200 lap race. So I think we did okay there tonight. But I know obviously we want less, but still had some good green flag racing when it's all said and done. Give some shout outs, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd just like to thank you, Chris. You do a great job. I always love going back and watching the broadcasts. I'd like to thank my family watching, my mom, my girlfriend. I'm sure my dad's watching as well. I'd like to thank Ghost Energy. Got the Swedish Fish car back out on the track. We had the Bubblicious car for October for breast cancer. I had the pink truck going
Mhm.
out. So should be with this go scheme for the rest of the season, but we might do something special if we got a shot to win the championship later on.
There you go, my man. Well, great job tonight. Safe travels to Phoenix if you're going there, and we will see you. Actually, we'll see you Sunday night here, but Wednesday night in Michigan.
Absolutely, Chris. Thank you.
All right, you too, buddy. Be safe. Ricky Springer finishing in the third position. Yeah, great job as always, and shout out to him for what he does to help me out and stuff. Gotta give him a little shout out for that. Move down to the 518 team, and then let's talk to our second place finisher tonight, Brian Sutphin, who pretty much was he did what he could try to do basically there on that restart, but unfortunately it was Sam's race to lose tonight. Brian, I know, look, everybody wants to win, but being the team player you are, obviously being second to Sam, you guys having a dominant 1-2 effort. One of the more, I mean, obviously I think of what the Lap 1 Legends guys did at Michigan last season. Almost another version of that on a short track tonight for you guys.
Be honest with you, man, it just feels like a win to me.
Right.
You know, running second to my teammate, and I'm, lagging in the points. I've had a couple of finishes that, I didn't really deserve, but shoot, I just come in tonight and I knew that, if I had a decent race and stayed out of trouble and used my head and didn't get too excited, I could run in the top 5 pretty easy. So it was nice to have other than the little skirmish I got caught up in at the first part of the race, other than that, it's pretty daggone clean. There's a lot of fun.
I was going to say, that was just unfortunately scary there. It looked like there was some contact up ahead, and then one truck went to the apron to kind of avoid everything, and it just kind of all squeezed together on you there. That had to be a little bit of a Code Brown moment.
Yeah, man. There was one point in time I was 45 degrees sideways sliding and looking at the inside wall, and I was like, this ain't going to end well.
Uh-oh. You're right. Well, hey, man, great job, obviously. I saw you trying to make a move. I know, was there anything you could do with Sam? I mean, obviously, he runs the fastest lap of the race on the final lap show off. But you did everything you could do to try to get around him, it looked like.
We just, we made it interesting there at the end. Here's the thing, when you got, we're a team,
right,
and we're tight, and we want the best for everybody. And I had good points going. We had phenomenal team points going. And yeah, I could have run Sam up a racetrack a little bit, but I just wasn't going to do that. And, I'm thrilled with my finish. And our other two teammates, they battled back from adversity. And I don't know, it's just it felt nice to go into a race saying, hey, man, you can definitely run in the top 5, and then to pull it off, it's easier said than done in this league. There's a lot of talent in here. And I raced pretty hard with, Dane and Ricky a couple of times, and just super clean racing, control your vehicle. And I was just always worried about somebody whiskey throttling up off the corner,
right,
off 2 especially, and taking you out. But no, it was a lot of fun up front tonight.
We'll have to see how the points look out here for you. I know entering this race, you're about 90 out. Obviously, with the issues tonight, I mean, who knows? If you gained enough tonight, there's a chance. Next week in Michigan, we see Brian Sutphin getting into the playoffs.
I don't know. It'd be my first trip to the playoffs in this series. I've missed it by a gnat's eyelash a couple of times, but I don't know. I'm going to keep on digging. I'll put in a lot of work for Michigan this coming week, and, practice starts tomorrow night, and it ends on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock when they drop a rag. So we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely, man. Love the confidence there, and I'd love to see you up there in the playoffs. Well done tonight. Second place finish. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Hey, I appreciate the broadcast as always. Phenomenal. This season, I think is the best season that I've ever had in GLSR.
Agreed.
I've enjoyed it so much. We have a full field, and it seems like we've all run enough together now that everybody kind of knows each other a little bit, and we get along better on the racetrack, and we know what each other's going to do. But I want to give a shout out to this series. It's it's phenomenal. It's been a lot of fun this season, and give a shout out to anybody that's watching, might have cheered for me, my parents and any family, and give a shout out to KJD too. And just like I said at the first race of the season, we come to race, boys.
You know what? Side question. This just literally popped in my head 2 seconds ago. You were in Martinsville this weekend, right?
Yes, sir.
You were there for the move, right?
Oh, Lord.
What did it look like in person? I just did it look as like crazy as it did on TV?
So I've been going to NASCAR Cup races for 42 years.
Wow.
And I have never seen anything. I was there when Earnhardt and Rudd wrecked going into turn one at Wilkesboro.
Yep.
And all hell broke loose after the race. It was everybody, they went to a fight and a race broke out kind of thing. But, dude, we were watching, and I watched them go into the backstretch, and I don't know, I was watching maybe third place, fourth place, something like that. And all of a sudden, I see this missile. And,
good way to put it.
Dude, when I first looked at him, I was like, his throttle's hung. No, his throttle wasn't hung. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
His foot was stuck on the throttle. Is what happened.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, I'm glad to be able to say I was there.
That's
and
awesome.
I caught him about a third of the way into the corner. And when he come off the corner, dude, he was 35 miles an hour faster than anybody else. And I was like, Lord have mercy, that kid right there wants it bad.
No kidding. Well, I just had to ask. That came to my head. I'm like, oh wait, Brian was at the track. I've never seen a photo. But hey, great job tonight, man. Go enjoy your second place finish.
Hey, dude, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You guys have a good night. Thanks to everybody out there watching.
You too, buddy. Good job, man. Brian Sutphin finishing in the second position. And, yeah, that, I mean, like I said earlier during this race, it's like, okay, yes, for the way the rules are set up in racing now, awesome move on his part. But I think that kind of opens up some flaws of the playoffs. But that's just a whole other story for another day. All right, Sam Fontaine, welcome to Victory Lane again, as you become the third 10-time winner in series history. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
Talk about the racing. I mean, you had a lot of things happen there around you.
Yeah, I mean, no, just trying to manage the whole race tire-wise and strategy-wise too. We were debating mostly at the end, like if we were pitting or not, those kind of things. So we're trying to plan ahead for that. And when we were first and second with Brian, just trying to manage the gap behind, stretch a guy as well as we could, and try to conserve our tires if we had like to get like a caution mid stint. But otherwise, no, super clean race. The whole league did a pretty good race for what people were saying, what they were expecting at least. So no, overall fun race, really good, and thanks to my teammate. Because before yesterday, I wasn't the fastest on track, and turned out that we pretty much dominated that one tonight. So
Yeah, you pretty much led all the laps in the race. The one time I didn't see you lead was pulling a drift move. I was sitting there in my head as he does it. I'm like, man, I wonder how Sam feels about that. Because I mean, you want to lead every lap, right?
well, yeah, but like I mean, if it's for bonus point, I totally get it.
Oh, absolutely.
And when he stayed on track, I thought for a second he would do like what Alfin would have was doing.
Mhm.
So keeping like his car on the old tires, hoping for caution 20 laps later, and pitting for new tires. But he sent me a message and told me he was pitting now. So I was like, oh, at least we got the control of that restart, which
Right.
can be always messy sometimes. So no, that was good, pretty good. Yeah.
Well, after last week's issues, obviously, you're still up there at the top of the points. Not top, but up there, top part of the points. So it looks like you're pretty much going to be a lot going to Michigan. And I know you and Michigan and have not gotten along very well. As a matter of fact, you and 1.5 miles and 2 mile intermediate tracks have not gotten along lately. I know you did finish second in Vegas, but needless to say, what can we what kind of goals can we set for next week? Because obviously, I know for you, yeah, not only do you want to win the race, but to you want to get a good finish to go into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's all about figuring out the track, the car this season. Like the whole car feel a little different in the corners, just because we use full fuel, and strategy is a little different too. So it's hard to follow what we were doing the other season, strategy wise, or the way we were driving the
That's true.
car. So that's gonna have to be we're gonna have to figure that out first, and after that, I mean, yeah, aiming for a win. That's the only thing we want to. Realistically talking, I think like just a top 5 would be nice, but aiming for a win. So like we have an idea for when we're gonna go to Chicago if we have a chance for that race. I know Ricky's gonna be really good on those kind of tracks, so it's gonna be hard to beat. So really want to try to figure out if we can get an edge next week.
There you go. Well, great job tonight finishing on the top step. Again, 3rd win this season, and of course, the 10th career victory for you. Shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, first of all, like all my teammates in KJD2, like it was a great race, great week. It's been like 3 weeks that we are really like good, pretty much really fast everywhere, and without like those unfortunate events, we would have finished probably like one, two guys like in the top 5, but things happen. It's racing. So and they really helped me out during like this week to prepare for that
Mhm.
race. Like I said, Brian was like on top of his game before today practice, and I had to step up my practice sessions and like trying to put more laps in, trying to figure out things, because I knew if I had to, I had to beat him first to win the race. So thanks to all of them, and also you for the nice broadcast you're doing and all the time you're putting for the league, all the admins, and of course like all the sponsor who make the season happen.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight. Congratulations, and go enjoy the win.
Thanks, man.
There you go. Sam Fontaine, the winner tonight here from the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, virtually on iRacing, and appreciate everybody for their fun racing tonight out of everybody that was in the field. Of course, as usual, we got some angry people over in the boxing ring, which is a channel in the Discord that people kind of have as their free will without bashing each other. Just kind of looking at what people are saying over there. Very interesting. So that wraps up the first 99 races in this league's history. And we've been a part of all 99 of them here on the Captain Esports Network. And next Wednesday night, as we go to Michigan Speedway, the home track, if you will, of pretty much this series, because Travis and I know Sam's up in that area. A lot of Michigan drivers are up in this league and up at that track. Somebody will be able to claim that they won the 100th race. Chris Evans won the first race at Talladega 2 years ago in season number 1. So only one person can get win number 100 next week at Michigan. And who will it be? We will find out next Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We'll I'll try to get on a little earlier and do a little fun with it with the 100th race, and maybe talk to Travis and Sam and those guys as we kind of look back and think back to what we've seen so far in this league's history. So many different winners. As we talked about tonight, 3 officially now drivers who have won 10 or more races. When you look at numbers, you've got Zach Allman, who's won 13 races. You've got Ricky Springer, who's won 12. You got Sam Fontaine, who's won 10. That comes out to 35. So just over a third of the races ran in this series have been won by those 3 drivers. That sounds like a lot, and it is. But that just also shows you that there have been so many other winners in this series, obviously, through the 100 races that we come up on next week at Michigan. So we'll see. Will we get a new winner for win number 100? A repeat winner? Will one of the 3 10-time plus winners go to victory lane? We shall find out. But as for now, we head out. And thanks, Kevin Davis, for his help as adminning as always. And remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
Side by side, coming to the line. Alex Cummings steals it. Gonna score his third win in 4 races. Road America to Dylan Parker. There's a photo of J.W. Miller with his father on the front straightaway at the Brickyard. Now he's actually gonna go to victory lane at the Brickyard.